just to show you guys how to turn everything on and off. Over here on the side, it's a very simple turn off and turn on. So whenever you're done with it, turn it off. I will recommend that you leave it on.
It's got the batteries in it.
Because the batteries, correct.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar with that at all with the other FANUCs, right? So it's not going to hurt anything to leave it on as much as you want. I recommend a battery change every 6 months. So before you leave for the winter and before you leave for the summer. Just that's what we recommend for all of our schools and everything like that. Very, very simple to change. If you haven't changed one, there's a YouTube on it. That's fantastic. If not, give us a call. I'll come out at some point and change it for you. And then you'll just let us know when you want to do that, and we'll order them for you, or you order them yourself. It's very simple. Okay. You have your FANUC number right there if you're ever asked. And in the box that I have set up for you guys.
Yeah, where's the manual?
Okay. Yeah, right. Well, there's no like major manual for it. This is going to be all your actual components that it's going to ask for if you ever have any issues on where your actual mastery codes are.
Okay.
So those are your actual mastery positions throughout that they had set up in front.
Yeah.
Just in case you ever lost the battery and lost the power and we got to remaster it, no problem. I'll reference that, but I will go through and kind of make it my own as well. I made, it's a warranty setup too for that Miller as well. So whenever you have a little time, go for that. You have your E-Dots by FANUC. You won't ever need that. That would be for me one day if need to be. And this is for like if you had vision and stuff, but you're not going to need that. I made you a image backup and full file backup for y'all. So that's got the number on it, so it can't be confused with any of the others. I'll label that for you. So that's kind of your documents and everything. And then I know we had talked about FANUC at one point, so I threw one of our flyers in there. So any familiarization at all with the CRX? No. Okay. Cool. Collaborative robot, right? If we come back here and take a look really quick, very basic regulator setup and everything like that, but you have your wire wheel. You can do your inching in and out. So you can see on the gun itself, I can go forwards and backwards a little bit. I don't recommend too much backwards, of course, and then we can also purge from right here as well, and you can see that. That's pretty cool. Your rollers and everything, it's got 035 rollers in it right now. I mean, that's going to be nothing to y'all. I went ahead and kind of pre-planned this. I got it into some big weird spots, so I kind of like it right there. If you were to change it and pull it up tight, when you go too far, it's going to give you a payload error, and you'll kind of know, okay, maybe it's kind of pulling a little too hard on that. But that's kind of a basic setup there. Moving around as well on the top too, what you're going to see is this is going to rotate along as you're going to do your welds and everything. Just kind of keep the cords in and out of the way. So if you see a big bind or something, just kind of look at that as well. And just to kind of show you that the robot does move, I went ahead and this is just, I made a quick program. And it's just going to go through. Very, very simple. I made this earlier. I did check to make sure it's not going to hit my clamps and everything. So what's cool about that, and again, I'm going to keep it basic. Because I can dive in pretty hard, because if I wanted to do on these first few, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go to the basics. When you first kick it on and everything, there's a FANUC app that you'll actually click into. So remember, whenever you're not using it, the power out button is that top right one. Hold it down and take your Android out of commission. Anytime you tap on that, it'll go through, connect and everything, and it'll set up. The first thing that you're going to look at is right here under teaching. You'll click on teaching and it'll say select program. It'll give you your list of all your programs. So you'll have some tip clean ones, you'll have a home, you'll have a shipping, you'll have a zero, you'll have anything you want in there. I created 2 for myself, a Tech Labs and a Tech Labs Weld. And then anytime you want to create a new one, you would just click new, title it, create. Boom, we have a blank timeline that we can do whatever we want for the rest of it. So, and it's very simple too. You can drag and drop. Oh, sorry. And you will always enable your teaching pin here. So on the very top right, you have a little finger, and you have a no finger to where the tablet's disabled. So to show you what that looks like, go to my Tech Labs one. Okay, so this one's already kind of created out for you. If I have the tablet disabled, then that means that the program is going to run at whatever percentage I want it to. Keep in mind, if you are going to weld, you have to have it on 100%, because it only knows the weld speed that you give it at 100%. So if we do motion, you can do whatever you'd like, but at 100%. So once I have the tablet disabled at 100%, I can press the button and she's going to go through and do her whole thing. At any time, I have my e-stop up top and I have my e-stop down there as well. Just pull it out, reset, and you're back in business. So it's that simple to operate there. Now let's show you what happens whenever I enable the tablet to where I can now do things to it. The moment that you enable it, you're going to get the red light, and it's going to say, "Hey, it's now in manual mode." So you just said reset and get the green lights. To also explain the lights as well, is a green light means she's ready to go. She's asking for her next command. A blinking light means that she's in manual mode. I can do whatever I want with her right there. Okay, we're going to dive into that in a minute. But and then the red light means that we have an error. So and your error is always going to be listed up at the top. It's going to give you that yellow code on what it is and everything like that. Any questions so far? Okay. Now that I'm in manual mode, I can no longer press the button. It knows that I'm in manual mode. I can do in all the controls. It's not in auto mode where it can take over. So, but the cool thing about manual mode is now I can set my percentage and I can go forward and it will run at that percentage, or I can go a little reverse. So this is how, when I make a program from the scratch, I'm going to start at 50% and I'm going to manually hold it and make sure that I'm not going to hit anything. Of course, right? And then you can speed it up and go through. You can also do step mode too. So step mode is right there on the left hand side, to where every time I click and hold forward, it's only going to go to the next icon. So right there we're at 9, I'm about to go to 10. All I have to do is press forward. It's going to go all the way out to 10 and stop there. So actually Craig just brought up a good point to show you guys about, whenever you're ready, Craig, give it a good smash. Sorry.
Start that way, let it come back at me.
Yeah. So this is why you bought a collaborative robot, to where just like that, where it actually come into contact with the person that's going to stop. And it's going to give you that contact force exceeds, that payload error right there. It says, hey, and if you didn't know too, I'm just so bad at jumping off topic, but there are the 6 servo motors inside, right? 6 axis. So the way that it works too is there's actually a glass lens inside that has lots of different little holes and slots. And as that servo motor turns, there's a light beam inside that reflects. And if that is tuned out in any which way, it'll stop. So it knows, because I have it's programmed in here to have I think it's a 4.65 kilogram head. Any more, so it now knows how to move with that amount of force on the head, with that amount of weight on the head. Anything else that is contacted into it to make it heavier, it'll stop. Because that it'll calculate its timing, and if that timing is ever interrupted, like Craig touching it, it will go, or smacking a clamp, whatever it's going to stop. And to get out of it, one way or two. It might need a reset, and that's cool, or it might need a payload configuration again, which I can show you. Because if I go through, no, it's cool. It like that. If you needed to do a payload configuration, like it is in a stop state and it doesn't like anything. Left hand side, you'll go to setup. You'll go down here to payload settings. You'll click on payload settings. You see how number 1 is 4.59 kilograms. That's what the Miller head is. That's what that robot knows as its weight. The other ones are not programmed. If you ever had a moment where you were stretched out and it add a little bit of weight to it, you could program one that's like for 5 kilograms or something and kind of help push you through that for a demo or something like that. But all you'll do here is you'll go to payload configuration, click on it. Your passcode for this entire robot is very, very complicated. 1111. Okay? Yes, I would like to do a payload configuration. Okay. Payload success, you're back to normal. It's gonna pull you out of that stop state if you ever get into that. You're gonna learn all that as well as your welding procedures. So this is how you can create or modify any of those welding procedures that they already have and done. So I'm going to tell you right now, looking at theirs, let me slide this over a little bit for you so you can see. On welding procedure 2, welding procedure 1, they have the details, right? That welding procedure 3, RMD, he already had that one set up, where you can click on the detailed settings of that. And detailed settings of ramping or track scheduled. I'll have to play with that a little bit. But on still welding procedure 2, the schedule list. So if you look, that's going to be what your travel speed is, and your wire feed speed, your arc length is going to be your amperage, what you're going to put into it as well. So you can click on that, and you can edit it and change it. So we can edit the actual settings of the machine. We can actually set up a weave, disabled or enabled. When you enable it, it's going to ask you what kind of a weave would you like, and everything like that. You'll play around with that. It's a lot of fun. So, but yeah, any questions so far on that? So really, the main things that you're going to need to focus on is how to get to a program, which is under teaching, select a program, and then the other 2 would be payload settings and welding procedure, and those are under settings. So those are your kind of main 2 areas. The other stuff is just kind of gravy, but those are your main stuff that you're going to be focused on, changing and everything like that. So just to show you that it does weld, we'll go through and we'll click on my Tech Labs weld. Open. And it said, hey, while you were doing other things, it was whatever. So, okay, so I created one a minute ago. I'm gonna just run it to kind of show you, and then I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna make y'all create it. So just to kind of show you what I do, always in the beginning is I'm gonna do a rough draft just to make sure that everything is working. And how I do that is I'm gonna disable my tablet at the top right corner. I'm gonna go to the beginning. Remember, always 100%. And then now I can click that green button. And I always kind of have my hand ready to go just in case I don't like it. Oh. I think I did a I think I actually set a weave on that schedule 2 on accident, which actually is going to be fun. We're just going to do it. Okay, so now I know that everything's cool. Okay, everybody cover, yada yada yada. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
So I am now clicking up top there where that make weld was, and I'm going to do welding enabled. Done deal. And here you go. I kind of put that there to block for them, so here you go. And this is just that welding procedure 2 on the memory and everything like that. And so it's gonna do a little loop pattern. obviously that's just the standard, right? We haven't altered that weave or anything like that. So, kind of fun. That was at 25 amps and 380. But, so show you like it's that simple. So now I'm gonna make you do it. What we're gonna do firsthand is we're gonna disable it. And I'm now going to delete everything. And just so you can see that a little bit clearer, is I'm literally taking it, grabbing that icon, tossing it to the wind. So now we have a home. This is what I always do personally. I always start my programs and end my programs with home. That is just a position registry that we have in there. It's position 91. So it's very simple. On position registries, you click in 91. It's just a memory thing. And APT has set it for home. You have 91 for home, 94 for tip clean, and 100 for shipping. Just those simple stuff. So now you'll go to, and I'm in history, right? You have all, which gets a little bit more. Sorry. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That'll give you everything shown. But we're not going to use a lot of these, like we don't have a gripper or anything like that. So you're mostly going to be going to Art Tool and doing everything in there. So, for example, we're going to go to this little icon called Handle Teach. I'm going to drag that into my timeline next. And immediately it's going to ask for a robot operation. It's going to bring up the robot operation. And I can set it to heavier or lighter depending on how I want. What's going to happen now is it says, okay, you have a handle teach. It's not recognizing these two buttons up here. So I'm going to come through and I'm going to switch it over, get that green light blinking. That's going to tell me that I can now move this robot. Every time I press teach, it's going to drop in a linear point. Jog mode would be simply switching between free, translation, rotation, or a custom. So if we went over here to a custom and we dropped out Z to where all I can do is X and Y, I can't pull up, so we want to keep that same distance, and that as well. You can click into rotation, or you can come wherever you want, and then add a little bit of a rotation to it. Because if you didn't know, translation is moving 1, 2, and 3. Rotation is 4, 5, and 6. So that's translation to get you where you want to go. Rotation is to actually manipulate the angle. So we're going to go back to free, and I have it right about in the middle. And so now I can move it. And every time, if you watch the iPad, every time I hit teach, it tosses in a new point. So now I can do teach, 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 teach. And what you're going to do now is hold for 3. 1, 2, 3. That'll give you a weld start. Slide it over. Hold for 3. 1, 2, 3. That'll give me a weld end. Okay, and then up, up. Oh, a little too fast. Up. That's as simple as it can be. Okay. I would delete my handle teach because I no longer need it. I know how to program. And then what it's going to ask for you is it's going to ask for the welding procedure. And just so you know too, I didn't really cover it. Robot operation, you can pull that up to do things and work through your robot operation. You can switch between manual mode, jog, or manual handle. So jog mode, you can switch between joint or Cartesian, whichever way you like to think about it. I like Cartesian, running in X and Y and Z. So then,
JG.
What?
JG.
JG. Okay. Well then, I'm not as familiar with that, but yeah, do your thing there, and then you can pop it into joint as well, and then we can move each one in particular, and you can adjust the percentage. So what I'll do is I'll kind of get it close, do my thing, and then whenever I do my rough draft, I'll usually pop it into Cartesian, and I'll tone it way down and really get that depth and that angle that I want. And then I will touch it up. How you would touch it up is you can click on any one of them and just go to touch up, and just literally click on touch up, and it will touch up whichever position that was for you. Sorry, I'm all over the place. So, robot operation menu, drop it. Play menu, drop it. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. So now that we have our timeline program, you'll click on your weld. It's gonna ask for a welding procedure. It doesn't know what to do unless you give it a welding procedure. You gave it a weld start, so it's gonna ask for a welding procedure. So weld procedure 2, schedule 1 is that same setting there. You could do a schedule 2. In this instance, he operated it at a whole lot more with a slower robot speed. We'll go weld procedure 2, schedule 1, that one we played with. Same there. So the start and stop needs to be the same. Now, a cool thing is you can make multiple weld starts, but that very last weld start and weld in has to be the same. So what I can do is I can start in a stringer, and then I can start again in a weave, and then I can start again in some kind of a circular rotation, but I would end it in that circular rotation. Does that make sense? So you can, if you want to roll around a corner or anything like that, and have a different weave here and a stringer here, you can do that, no problem. But it has to match the welding. Okay. So now that I gave it a deal, I'll pull up my play menu, and I'll put it at 50%, and I'll just jog it myself, just to make sure that it's not going to hit anything. I can stop at any time. It'll go through. Now it's going to do that little weave. Let's speed it up a little bit. Blah blah blah. And so it's as simple as that. But yeah. So does that make sense? Okay. Pretty somewhat straightforward. So I'm gonna make you do it now. Okay. So what I would like for you to do is, we can just go to history, and you'll toss in. Go ahead. You can take the reins. You'll toss in a linear move to start off with. So the L. We'll do that one in a second. Drop that one down. Grab your L, because it needs a starting point. So there, and then go ahead and click on that. And let's drop that away, that plane menu. So click on position registry. Position, and go to position registry, and let's type in 91. Go. Immediate on the comment is home. So we now know we are now going to start at home. It may not be there right now, but it will. If you want it to go there, you would just go to play really quick, slide it over, and it's going to go to home. Okay. Take away your play menu again. Now let's go back to programming, and let's toss in a handle teach. Okay, so now it came up, boom. So now we need to unlock the robot and put our hands on and teach as we go. So go ahead and flip right here. That's going to be right here. You're going to flip that over. You get your blinking light. Now go ahead and grab it. And she is a lady, so treat her nice.
What's her name?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
We got a name, huh?
So right. So you went immediately from there to here. This robot has no idea that this is here. So remember, teach as you go.
Yeah.
So
you gotta have your approach point.
Exactly right. So like you were at home, right? So we started here. So now as you move it away, give it a teach. Move it, give it a teach. Give it a teach, and kind of teach it how to get there. And watch right here. It's gonna toss that in every time you do it. Cool. Give me another teach. Okay, now give me that approach. Now you can start to twist it and however you want it. A drag, yeah, whatever you want. Come a little up above, and give me that approach, and then just come straight down, and we'll do our weld. Yeah. It takes a little bit to get used to it. Yeah, the top one. Okay, and then now get it down right where you want it to, and hold for 3. And sometimes you got to kind of have 2 hands and holding it steady, because it may want to kind of drop or anything while you're pressing. So you gave me a weld start, give me a weld end. Okay. And I'll kind of take my fingers and I'll hold it wherever I want, and then press that button. So hold for 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now teach it how to come away and go back home. Okay. If it gave you pressure, leave it. Okay. Now try again. Nope. She's gonna stop the tape. So click it back over. So I have now locked it out. Maybe it hit the table or something like that. It was like, hey, I don't like this force. So now that you did that, we can do, let me see if she'll unlock right there. I'm gonna go back to, just click it again. Okay, and she moved. All she wanted was a reset. So now teach it how to come away. Yep. 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 Cool. And now lock it back in. Remember, your lock is right here.
Well, I can go to this one and go back to home, right?
We will. But go ahead and disable that way the robot can't move on you or anything like that. Because, let me show you. If I do have it unlocked and slide that over to light, watch the head. Yeah, watch. It's a lot lighter now. Now you move, and then the more heavier you go, the harder it's going to be. So just that way you remember that. So if you have it too light and you kind of like take your hands off, it might drop at some point too. So, okay. Sorry, we're back to it. Now we have a program. So you're right. The first thing that we're going to do, yeah, you can do that. You do position registry and 91. 91. Good. You have a home. I want you to delete the handle teach, because we no longer need that. Says okay. Cool. Now we have a timeline. Now we need to give it a welding procedure. We need to click on our welding icons, and it's going to ask for one. So in this case, we'll do the 2 or the, yeah, whatever one. I don't know what the other ones do. We could try them. I don't care. Okay, so that one's good. Now make sure that your weld end matches. Cool. Okay. Now we need to do a dry run to make sure that it looks good. So, you'll bring up that play menu, okay, and we're going to go to the beginning, the far right. Go to the beginning, which it was, but just I click it every now. I make it a habit to click. That way I know where it's going to start and stop. So now you can drag. That'll be fun. Does this make sense so far?
Oh,
yeah.
You're gonna have it in no time, but
cool. All right. So if you're happy with it, let's not have the sparks splash all over the template. And so now disable the tablet on the very top, the very top right, and you can go weld enabled. And now your play button's different. You will not click play. You will click green button. So and then you can have a mask. Cool. Okay. So any questions about that, I guess, you know?
no.
So give me some feedback. What is something that is kind of concerning to you at the moment? What is something you want to know?
How can I get that to the original format of the teach minute?
Cool.
So like if we did want to do
So if you wanted
programming
to
positions.
So let me think about that for just a second, because I haven't done that too often.
Like the teach pin and screen.
Yeah, so you can access the teach pin and screen, no issue. Like if I came to a weld procedure or anything, I can click that and bring it up immediately. I'll have to think about it on how you could literally write a program.
Because we're moving, how to write a program like I mean I understand, that's so exactly like that one there.
So then let me ask you, because I have less time on the Archmates. So if I gave you this, can you go to menu and kind of find your way to write a program? And I'm not putting you on the spot by any means. I just don't have as much experience with that one.
Yeah, we would have to
this is under welding procedures. So maybe if I go to teaching and I go to select a program.
Oh, there we go.
And we did a new program, maybe. Yeah. So just type your name, whatever, and or however, create. Boom, yeah, but it does take that away, and I'm not able to. I have to ask. I need to ask about that to get you there, because I'm not familiar with that, and so I'll ask that question.
Just because, we would like to teach them both, right?
Yes.
And we only have 2 with the original teach pin.
Got it.
And part of what we're going to be doing with RoboGuide software is teaching the original format of those.
So I tell you what, go get me one of those R30iB controllers, and we'll plug it in. Okay. That may be what we need to do. Any questions so far, Cody? Cool. I want to encourage you. APT has a YouTube channel where they put literally all of their model weld YouTubes. It's probably about 20 of them. So where if you want to learn how to do a circular weld, if you want to learn how to do an image backup, change the batteries, anything, it's on the YouTube. So I encourage that as well. If you have any questions, but give me a call by any means, and we'll happily talk about it. So again, it's the same.
It'd be really. If we could figure out how to make that one do this, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and
Or we just have to order
it definitely can. So I want that for you.